What is up, office workers and interns? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we are returning to the best girl as we continue our coverage of 30-something office worker Haman-sama. Last time, the Axis company went on a corporate outing to a ryokan. Haman twisted her ankle and learned to enjoy social situations more often. This time, Haman meets the designer for Murasame. She goes bowling with Amado and Char, and she gets a new mochi cube. So let's get into this. Haman got a gift for judo during his business trip. He hopes that his little sister doesn't get into the way this time. However, when she goes into the kombini, she is met with the store manager, Yazan. Unlike Yazan and Zeta, this Yazan is very hospitable. That is when judo comes in. He apologizes to Yazan. He took the day off to take care of his sister, but she told him she could take care of herself. He wants to work on his day off because he is dreamy and amazing in every way. Nervous, she awkwardly gives Judo the gift. He shares it with Yazan. Her plan of the gift going only to Judo has failed. Puru too is lecturing Puru about her sloppy habits. She doesn't clean up after herself. She never turns off the lights. And she is always walking around naked. She says that she needs to start acting like an older sister. Puru is happy that Puru too referred to her as her sister. She didn't listen to a damn word about cleaning up after herself though. Meanwhile, Haman shows how to properly be an adult. With a beer in your hand, obviously. Haman is hurting head to toe after a day of work. She is cuddling with her Mochi Cube Unit 1, but Unit 1 is quite beat up. She needs to sew it up, but she sucks at sewing. She decides to get a new one and calls it New Mochi Cube. I get it. I love that Amazon in this universe is Danan-san. That means that Jeff Bezos is the real-life Rona family. She loves it. Now that she has a new one, she could throw out the beat-up one. But Mochi Cube Unit 1 is immune to fire. Fun fact, Japan still burns trash. She holds on to it for now. Another day at work for Haman. She is exhausted. That is when she passes by Makuve's toy shop with the max healing Mochi Cube. She must have it. Haman treats Mochi Cubes like most girls with those labubus these days. La-boo-boo. She then thinks about all the amazing times she had with Mochi Cube Unit 1. She can't throw it away. The next day, Haman heads to work with bandages on her hand. She decided to patch up Mochi Cube and didn't do the best job. Haman and Camille go to get some ramen. She wonders why they came here. Camille says he wanted ramen, so he went to a ramen place. She wonders what is up with this dude. Last time they met, he completely ignored that foul girl that clearly likes him. She doesn't realize that the autism is strong with this one, but she tries to get more answers. She asks about Fa. Camille says that they were childhood friends that went to school together and eventually worked together. Haman thinks to herself, oh, this guy's a clueless moron. She tries to get him to see that Fa likes him, but Camille says, hey, are you coming on to me? Because I don't like you, Haman. This idiot fills Haman with rage, so now he must continue living in ignorance of Fa. At work, the Puru twins are showing the other girls pics of when they were in elementary schools. The office wonders what Haman looked like when she was younger. We get to see this universe's version of Haman with a Char's Deleted Affair era look. She tells them that she was very popular back then. We flash back to a younger Haman. She passes by a young Isolina and Garma and calls Isolina a skank. She realizes she was kind of an asshole when she was a kid. Her coworkers don't need to know that though. Haman passes by Char, who is on the phone. He tells whoever he is talking to that he is excited to see them. She wonders if he is talking to a woman. She gets dramatic and says that there hasn't been a day gone by that I haven't thought about you. Oh, she's spiraling. Naturally, she thinks she should spy on him. Haman puts on her blonde wig and becomes Super Haman. He will never see her in this disguise. She turns the corner and ends up tripping, making her wig fall right off in front of Char. He happens to be meeting with Amado. He calls her a weirdo. Char, Amado, and Haman go bowling. She's still embarrassed that her disguise failed. Amado wonders why Char's girlfriend is always so miserable. Char says she gets jealous when he goes out with friends. Amado says you were thinking of us making out, weren't you? Amado was a former ACE employee at the Argama company developing the RX-78-2 lingerie line. He is now unemployed. They want to go to karaoke. Char tells Amado that he needs to come back to the lingerie game. Haman wasn't going to join, but decides to do karaoke with him. Amado invites the Argama rookie to join them. It happens to be Camille. Haman begins singing, but Char and Amado ended up leaving on their own. They left money for them to enjoy the room, but Camille doesn't want to stay. He says he will stay and listen to one song. Pick up the Zaku maracas, Camille. Pick up the Zaku maracas! Camille says that she is good at singing. Oh my god, he actually said a compliment. Haman wants Camille to sing, but he doesn't want to. She says, you better sing, Camille, or this mic is going up your butthole. Char and Amado happen to be watching. They never left and wanted to see them sing, but they got an even better show. Both Camille and Haman are embarrassed. Amado officially introduces Camille to Char. Char says, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. He has one question. He points to Haman and says, she really your ex? You dated this person? Haman is horrified. Minerva visits Haman. When she gets to her apartment, she is met with Puru. Haman went out to get some tea, and Puru is house-sitting. She enters into Haman's place to find Puru too. There's two of them. Minerva thinks they are young kids and not working adults. They say, of course we're adults. People need justification for sexualizing us. Might as well age us up. Gross. The Puru show Minerva candid footage they took of Haman at work. Haman walks in and tells them to stop showing Minerva this. Haman and Fa are in the sauna. She says, Yoryu, which means the pouring on the thingy to raise the temperature in the room. Haman does the same thing out of spite. There is an editorial note that says that Haman and friends would like to remind everyone to have proper etiquette in the sauna. This is why saunas are electric in the US. That is when Karasun comes in with her tits out. She then pours water, raising the temperature once again. Fa and Haman rush out of the sauna. Puru too tells Haman that they haven't heard back from the designer yet. She says, screw it, let's go pay them a visit. The designer happens to be for Murasame. For says that she don't listen to no one. That is her way. Haman says the deadline is today. It sounds like there's one day left then till the deadline, foretells her. She begins to freak out, just like her UC counterpart. Deadlines is her trigger word in this universe. Instead of missing her memories, she lost her creativity. 4 begins measuring Puru and Haman's bust and waist. They go to 4's secret lab that she calls Murasame Labs. Inside, she is working on secret designs. We see a room full of dresses. In this room is Relina Peacecraft's outfit from Gundam Wing and Lacus Klein's pop star outfit. She also works on cosplay outfits down here as well. 4 begins panicking once again and says, no, my creativity, where have you gone? She says that both their bodies match her vision for her cosplays. She dresses Purutu in her UC pilot suit and Haman in her Neo Zeon commander outfit. Haman is embarrassed. That is when head of product planning Namikar walks in. Like in Zeta Gundam, she harnesses her cyber new type power and her aura is huge. Namikar is excited and says that 4 has finally found her creativity. They were able to make their deadline. The Neo Zeon company is finally finished shipping their big product for the year, and they all finally have a moment to breathe. 4 comes in to thank her by giving her a poster of her cosplay. She crumples the poster and demands to know how she got the picture. 4 says that Puru took it. She says, don't worry, I have more. She stops 4 by taking her out to lunch. They go to Garma's Sweets, where they get the special parfait, Levian Rose. It is 1,750 yen. Why did it feel the need to tell me the price? Also, as of this video, that is $11.71. 4 says that this is the first work friend she has made. Haman goes, oh no, is this what happened? She says, I guess we could go for drinks sometimes. But 4 doesn't drink. You don't drink? In Japan? No wonder you don't have friends. That is when Fa and Camille walk in. Haman tells 4 they should get back, but 4 heads over to Camille. She seems to know him. 4 was childhood friends with Fa and Camille. Haman walks over to them and yells, stop hitting on my friends, before grabbing 4 and running out. 4 now has a new friend in the office. Char once again cancels his plans to hang out with Haman. She is mad about all the excuses he is making. She tries to calm herself down by watching cute animal videos, but she ended up buying something instead. 1 week later, her purchase came in the mail. It is a custom-made Char body pillow. It cost her 12,100 yen, which is around 80 bucks. Damn. She tells Pillow Char that his time is up and begins punching and suplexing the pillow. After getting all her stress out, she realizes how silly it was to buy this. Char calls her and apologizes for being flaky and asks if she wants to get drinks right now. She tries to hold a strong front, but gives in and decides to meet with him. She is mad at herself. Camille is stressing out Chief of Product Development Bright. He looks at a picture of his family to calm him down. It would be funny if Hathaway turned out to be a terrorist in this universe as well. That is when Emery comes into the elevator with him. She gets too close and personal with Bright. She wants him to show her a pic of his family. When Camille walks in on them getting touchy-feely, he does a Grandpa Simpson and walks right out of the elevator. He goes and vents what he just saw to Haman over ramen. And that will do it for this episode. What embarrassing situation will Haman find herself in next? The chapter with 4 getting her creativity back was probably my favorite so far. Let me know if I missed any puns or background references. Next time, Haman almost throws up on judo. They go to meet the fortune teller Sarasa Moon, and we get a beach chapter with the Double Zeta gang. But that will do it for this episode, new types. Remember, you could always take your anger out on a pillow. Peace.